Hey guys, great rising. It's your girl Cass. Welcome to my page, my channel. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So today, I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and they asked a really good question. They asked because, you know, I'm all about deprogramming, unlearning, and relearning, and really about being like productive and not complacent, right? So I was asked, because, I can go on, I have tangents all the time about, the matrix, if you want to call it, like, that we live in, and like society, how it's functioning, and all those things. And the question was asked, like, while we're having this conversation, how do someone, like, I'm speaking about them. They said, like, how do someone like me who understands what you're saying do something about it, or not be complacent, or just how to like deprogram? And I said the first thing you have to do is just not be complacent. I think complacency is like our biggest issue here in society, and as a people, because I feel like if you ask anybody if things are as they should be, or do you really trust the government, like, wholeheartedly, not here and there, like, do you trust the government, yes or no? I think you would say no for most people, because knowing the history, there's no way you can be like, I fully trust the government, especially if you're a black person like me. So with that being said, my advice was just like not playing into the elite and their bullshit. And what I mean by that, so for example, I know phones is like a thing, but TVs, screen. I know y'all seen the movie like Social Dilemma. And the people who run these apps, created these apps, help make them better, the algorithms, all that good stuff, right? So if they're telling you about screen time, especially the people who are creating this and making these apps better, and they're telling you their children get 0 to little screen time, why are you doing it to your kids? Because they actually know the effects of it, and they know that they're being programmed, and they know that they're being used at the end of the day. So why wouldn't you limit your screen time if you know, especially like with television too, like, you do know it's called a programming, like, legit, it's called a programming. So if you take that into consideration, they're literally feeding you everything you know, or they're feeding you everything that they want you to perpetuate. Because at the end of the day, a programming is for you to be controlled. That is what a programming is. You're being controlled through your subconscious. Because I feel like actively you guys don't know that it's being done to you. And this is why it goes back to, like, for example, why people are bringing up Disney, cartoons, all these good stuff from back in the day, and seeing how sexualized it really was. People would deny it all they want, but it's just like, it's right there in front of your face. And especially if you're exposing it to young children, from the ages 1 through 7, they're operating on a genius level. Meaning, when they say kids are a sponge, that metaphor is like legit. They take in everything. They do not, like, all the details that you think that they missed, they're not missing. It's just like how your child, when they grow up, they know that you've been lying to them about certain things. Like, they're very intuitive, and I always say this all the time, adults give them a disservice every time you feel like they don't understand, or they're not processing or taking that information. And for anybody who goes against that, I'm like, if you grew up on Disney and watching these movies and they're showing you these things now, look at our generation. we're very hypersexualized. Very. You can't even walk by a dude without ignoring them, without them feeling some type of way or entitled to get a comment or reaction out of you. Like, casual sex is a regular thing. Like, you know what I mean? Certain things that used to be taboo, or, you know what? It's not even about the fact that engaging in casual sex is the fact that, like, if you think about it, it's about a respect thing. They didn't teach you to respect your body on that level. Like, if you think back, bro, people would be 13, 14 years old, starting their best life, and end up being together, but they would stay together. It wouldn't be common for you to, like, it would be uncommon for you to have so many sexual partners. And then if you want to get into the conversation about energy, and if we're taught about that, how if you're sleeping with somebody, you're exchanging energy. At the end of the day, you're taking from them or they're taking from you. And if you knew how precious that was, or if you didn't want to be affected in that kind of way, you would take more precaution. You know what I'm saying? So we are, and like, think about it. How many people do you know, baby mothers or baby fathers, who don't like the mother of their child or their father of their child? You literally hate that person, cannot stand that person. And it just goes to show how quickly were you, like, willing to jump into these situations, not understanding, like, the gravity of it, like how important and how deep that really is. Okay? But I went on a little tangent right there. But let's get back to the topic at hand. So how do you deprogram? First of all, understand that everything that was put into your life is somebody's agenda to keep you distracted. Whether that was school, whether that is a job, or whether it's the screens. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all of that is to keep you distracted from you being more in tune with yourself, aligned with your power, knowing your power, knowing your purpose, and all these things that we look for in life. You're being distracted. At the end of the day, everybody has a talent. Everybody's had something that they're good at or a purpose, right? Your job is to share that with the world. But if you're so bogged down and distracted by all the bullshit you're taught in school, which you really don't use in real life, where do you have time to, or leave room to figure those things out? Right? Every time you're not doing something that you love, you're doing yourself a disservice. So you deprogram by making yourself a priority, by not feeding into these agendas. Me personally, it was more like taking accountability for myself, the things that I've learned, and doing something about it. Like, for example, if I know there is fluoride in my toothpaste, I'm going to buy a toothpaste that does not have fluoride in it. If I know there are aluminums, like metals, in my deodorant, I'm going to buy aluminum-free deodorant that does not have any metals or harsh chemicals in it. That is what being proactive is about. Because being complacent is knowing and still doing it and allowing it to happen. And who are you benefiting by allowing that to continue to happen? Not yourself, because you're calcifying your pineal gland. A gland that they don't really talk about in school. They literally skim over it, and they don't tell you its true properties. That's one thing. You have the air, like, you know what I'm saying? You have the food that's genetically modified. Like, you have things that you know that you can proactively change. But are you guys doing that? So if you're not making conscious efforts and decisions and being intentional about that, you're still perpetuating their agenda and allowing them to use your God-given power. It's being taken away and they're using it for their agenda. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way you deprogram is by being aware and being proactive and making the changes that you need to make. Not just knowing that these changes need to happen and then you continue to do them. You have to be intentional about that. I'm intentional because I want my power. I want to be in full control of myself, mind, body, spirit. I don't appreciate, like, you're not welcome here if you're not me. But if you're on autopilot and you're just listening to what they're telling you, you're perpetuating their agenda, which is not a benefit to you in any way, shape, or form. It's just like with what's going on right now. If you got it, that is not like that's your decision. But understand, how many times did Bill Gates say he wants to depopulate? Like, blatantly. And if you don't want to, and it's just like, he's saying it. Mind you, he's not a doctor. But when it comes to the World Health Organization, follow the paper trail. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Follow the paper trail, because it will show you who's really running stuff and who's playing out their agenda. So again, I'm just here to make you think, to plant a seed, get you to question everything that was put in front of your face, because ultimately everything that was put in front of our face was done by a white man. That's just the honest truth. Why is it that it's all these places, nothing is discovered unless it was by the white man, as if people or things, culture didn't exist before you came. So if somebody is writing your history who came to invade it, they've been perpetuating their agenda from the beginning. So yes, I will question everything, because you didn't make this for me. You invaded, you took control, manipulated, and here we are. So that was my thought of the day. And just like, I guess a way for you guys to just like think about how to deprogram yourself, or what does that look like. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's very important for you to be intentional about everything that you do, and for you to ask yourself these questions to make sure it's for the betterment of you. I feel like people just, I don't know if they don't believe in themselves or they're not intuitive, but ask yourself these questions, because your body will tell you. The universe will show you what's for you and what's not for you. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful, positive day, and I'll see you guys next time.